say when you're in love, you definitely start to ignore just little things, like maybe the way they speak to you or the things they want you to do, and you just feel like, no, it's love. They're controlling me because it's love, but no, it could just be that they're just a very toxic person. Also, like a big one, like if someone cheats on you in a relationship and then obviously they still want you in their life or whatever, they will have some sort of excuse that they'll make up and tell you it was a mistake, I was lost. And I've been in that situation before, and you know, I felt like, yeah, maybe it's true, like maybe we're only human, you know. But then it's like, once you allow that to happen once, that person feels like, yeah, they've got you where they need you, you're gonna tolerate anything, you know, and then it will continue down the line. There is not one thing I could think of right now to say that being blindly in love could be good. I mean, okay, I could say maybe that person doesn't want to be the way they are, but maybe they're just like going through something, or they're hurt deep down, or they've had like life issues, and maybe you could help them change, maybe. But like everyone says, like no one's gonna change for you, they'll change for themselves. So
blinded by love, me? No, never. Nah, yeah, I never get blinded by love. Ugh, like, so cringe. When you're blinded by love, I feel like it could possibly be lust. To me, blinded by love always comes with a negative connotation of it, and it seems like, you know, you forget about your family and your friends, and people on the outside are probably coming to you, telling you things, and you can't see it, or, you know, maybe you're getting treated like total and utter dirt off the bottom of people's shoe, and you really just can't see it. You probably think that you're in love, but you're not.
I'm sure if you speak to anyone that you know, they will say, you know, they've been in situations where they've ignored warning signs, they've ignored red flags and all them kind of things because they really like the person. Everybody, I think, you know, kind of lets go of some of their non-negotiables, or ignores certain warning signs, or ignores negative characteristics in somebody when they like somebody. I think it's just natural, because like and love and all that kind of stuff are really positive emotions. Like, of course you're going to start ignoring negative characteristics and you're going to start letting things slide, but in reality, like, we need to recognize and stick to our red flags and stick to our non-negotiables, because we end up in these situations where it's like, I took all this rubbish, or I accepted all this rubbish, or I looked past all these very obvious flaws because I liked you and I wanted things to work. And a scary thing is the idea of kind of wanting something to work, and then because of that you get blinded.
I don't think that I get blinded by love personally. I've seen it happen, but I don't think I get... Have I even seen it happen? I don't think it's blinded by love. I think it's other things. I think it's other things that you're going through in your life. If you don't love yourself and you don't know yourself, I think it's easy to accept things that you don't want to accept.
I would say love can blind anyone, literally. If you love somebody, then you start making excuses for them. You're like, oh yeah, but you know, he did do this and he did do that. And then when you're out of it, you're like, rah, the reason why I was making excuses for him was because I liked him or I loved him. When you're out of it and you think, nah sis, you can do better. So yeah, we do make excuses for people we love.
Being blinded by love is an easy trap to fall into. I think every girl experiences it at least once in her life. If you haven't experienced it by now, you're lucky, and you might in the future. Be careful, because it's really tricky. You know, when you really, really like someone, you overlook things. You might not realise, you know, they haven't got your best interests in heart. And usually it's through learning the hard way. I think it's so different when you're in the situation to when you're observing it, or from the outside, like it's a friend or a family member, because from the outside looking in, it's kind of toxic, and you know, you really want to just open that person's eyes, but they cannot come to terms with the fact that the things that you're saying could potentially be true about, you know, the person that they like. Hard as it might be, if you push someone, a friend or a family member, to make decisions based off of, you know, your own thoughts, it's never going to really work out for them, because it's not organic.
When I come out of situations, or like when I'm seeing someone or I'm in a relationship, when I come out, I always look back and I'm like, the signs were there, the flags were there, and I was just so deep in the sauce that I didn't realise, and I was just accepting it because I had this feeling. Chemistry isn't enough, like, and love alone isn't enough. Like, that's not what's going to sustain a relationship. You need so much more. So for me, I feel like love is blind in terms of like, you are willing to like ignore the red flags. You are willing to almost like sometimes ignore your non-negotiables because you've got this feeling for someone, or you've like almost fallen for someone. One thing that my mum told me like from very young was, don't fall in love, sit in it. When you meet someone, walk into it, take your time, and always know that you have to hold a piece of you back, because once you do fall in love, it's hard to get out of it. Like, once you fall, you could drown easily. So just understand and be able to like manage your emotions, and so that, you know, if something happens, like if someone breaks your heart, you're able to cope.